What up, people? It's Nickopz here, and today I'm going to be talking about the interesting balance changes I saw in the new Kombat cast and talking about how I personally feel about them, and also talking about the new replay feature that they added to the game. Now, I told myself I was going to take a little break because my birthday's tomorrow, but this was way too good to talk about. NRS is doing a amazing job with this game so far the past couple of months, and they're just on a roll. I really think that they're doing a great job. So, again, I usually make videos about the Kombat Cast characters when the Kombat Cast comes out and they break the character down. I usually talk about the character, but I'm going to stop doing that now because the videos never do well. I guess people just don't want to see breakdowns of the Kombat Cast, which I gotta say I don't blame them because they don't really show off a lot of things that a lot of players care about. So let's get into what I thought was interesting. And let's get the replay feature out of the way first. So what they basically did is, you can see right here, take over player 2 Reiko for 20 seconds. Use this feature to explore an alternative outcome from this point in the match. This is great because this allows people to actually lab and deal with something they don't know how to deal with. And in case you didn't watch my last video, one of the characters that I've talked about that is on my team is Cyrax. And I fight so many people who whine, bee, and moan about this character when, yes, she is good, but there's so many things that people let you get away with that they shouldn't. So I cannot wait I always just yell at them, go lab, go lab. Literally, one person was whining so much in the match, I was breaking down how to deal with something in the middle of the match. I told him, no, stop complaining, be still, and let me show you how to deal with this move. And he still was messing up. But either way,
What's the first thing you try to do?
they added this feature now, and this feature is amazing.
So that's not going to work. Now, maybe you try to delay wake up.
All right.
Not still stuck.
So see, they got it to where you can restart and return to a certain point so you can see how to get out of it.
That'd be usually one of my go-tos.
Enhanced bomb gets you. So what do most great players do? Mash.
Mash very, very hard.
And mashing doesn't work.
Well, surely there's something.
Now let's try jumping out of the corner.
And there you go.
Misses the command grab. Hits their own fatal blow.
As you can see, that is absolutely great. So that person that's complaining that they don't know how to do this or how to get out of that setup, this setup, you could just yell at them now to go boot up the replay system and lab it yourself. You don't even have to go to the lab and do the combo yourself, because that's what a lot of people are too lazy to do, to copy the setup themselves. You could just have the other player do it for you and learn how to deal with it yourself. I cannot wait to yell at people to go use the new replay system and stop complaining. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the balance changes. Now, there's going to be more, but I felt like these were interesting enough to actually make a video on, because I agree with most of the balance changes. So if I go ahead and fast forward right here, let's go to the point where they did the balance changes. It was like about right here. So I really like the one they did with Ashrah.
Second hit.
Again, Ashrah is a character, another character that she was on my team around the beginning of the game's life cycle. And around the beginning of the game, a lot of people felt like she was underrated and really good. But I think now, if you look what I said in my last tier list video, I think she's been power crept.
Just giving Ashrah a little more speed when it comes to switching in and out.
So what they did with her is they allowed it to where off of some special moves, she can switch to the other stance in the middle of the special move. That is amazing, because unlike Shang, where in both of her stances, Shang is trash in both of his stances. Her stances are actually good, but the purple one is not like intuitive to use, if it makes sense. Like, it's not really easy to go into, and it's only really, good when you're either full screen or when you already have something on them. But now you don't have to worry about that. You can actually use it more fluid in matches. And I think that's an absolutely great change, a good quality of life change. It's a buff if you look at it, but more quality of life.
For Ashrah and the other characters as
So another one they talked about was Garrus. Now, Garrus, this one is interesting to me because this showed me something else they could do with Garrus. So, as you can see, now he can combo off of his meter burn command grab, which is great. But thinking about that, that just made me think about, like, okay, they want Garrus to be more of a grappler in this game. And if we look at the best grappler in the game, Reiko can combo you with his regular command grab. So I don't get why. I think this was an okay change. You know, if I could rate it from 1 to 5, I'd give this a 3.5, because if they know they want Garrus to be more of a grappler now, because looking at all the changes they're making to him, they want him to get more of a reward off of opening you up. Last patch, it was a overhead bounce. This patch, it's a command grab bounce. So they're obviously saying with these patches, hey, we don't think Garrus can open people up and get good damage. So with that, I don't think they're making the right changes. No, they're making the right changes. They're doing it the wrong way. With the overhead, like, the overhead is good, but you need certain cameos to be able to get a combo off of it, which they should have just let him have an unsafe overhead that he could get a combo from, if that's what they felt like the problem was. So now they're giving him a meter burn command grab, and I essentially think that would be okay if, you know, it would be enough. And I don't think that's going to be enough. Unless he could get like 50 from it, it's not going to be enough. What they should have done is made it to where he can combo off his regular command grab with more cameos in the game. I don't care how they have to alternate the command grab, but that's what they need to do, if this is what they feel like the problem with Garrus is. So, yeah, matter of fact, I rate it out of 10. The Garrus change, I'll give it a 6.
Really is.
Right.
Here's a good one. Sareena. We got some changes for Sareena. And you have to really watch this video. Let me explain it real quickly. So Sareena has a new rune which grants damage buff and super meter regen over time when you're in it. So in this video, you're going to see Quan do a breaker, then an EX meter shortly thereafter, because he's in Sareena's new rune. So that's like 4 bars of super meter in like 5 seconds. Let's take a look.
Okay, this one they didn't really show off well, because even when I was just watching it, I thought it was like some type of buff to Quan Chi, but I wasn't really paying attention when I was first watching it, because I don't care about Quan Chi. But why would they talk about the buff does like a damage buff or something and then not show off the damage? So yeah, Sareena got buff. Let me just skip over that one, because I don't think that one was shown off very well. Now, Homelander. This is an interesting one.
Check it out.
Homelander has been killed. This character is dead now. I do not agree with the Homelander nerf. I said this plenty of times. Homelander is dumb at what he does. He's a 50-50 character that can stay relatively safe and mix you to death. If they were going to take that identity from him, they should have gave him something else. So he says right here,
Homelander, his forward 4 now hits mid.
His laser is a mid.
For Homelander, and especially for
Wait, did he say small?
Mid. Just some more stuff for.
Oh, some more stuff. Okay, because that is a big change. That actually killed Homelander. Homelander is only good at mixing you. That's all he has. His pressure is not really good. His buttons overall aren't really good. What made him good was the absolute dumb mix. And now that's been taken from him. The character's dead. He is probably going to be where Peacemaker is at now, honestly. And I don't agree with what they're doing with these DLC characters. Like, why are they... That is a hilarious frame. Yeah, that frame actually shows, you know, what I think about Homelander now after that change. Because them making his main and only low a mid is ridiculous. Even though I think they have been doing a great job overall in terms of balancing, when it comes to the better characters, like the very top tier characters, they have been doing a horrible job. But everything else has been good, you know. But when it comes to the top characters like Peacemaker and Homelander, when it comes to nerfing them, they do a terrible job. The only character, and Raiden, the only character that has survived from being very tip top and keeps getting nerfed and is fine is Johnny. Every other character that has been very, very top tier has just been killed, like actually killed. And I don't think that is a good thing. I really feel like they need to stop being lazy when it comes to the very top tier characters and find a way to bring them down some instead of killing them like they do Johnny. Like, why does Johnny get to survive every patch? And definitely Johnny is undisputed best now. Johnny, Havoc, or Sindel. But I think it's Johnny. But yeah, Homelander's done. So if you hated Homelander, this is a good day for you. He's actually completely done. I think he's around Peacemaker level now. The character is only good at mix. And that essential part of his game plan has been taken from him. What they should have done is if they were going to nerf him in the mix department, they needed to buff him in other departments to make up for that. But they didn't. So if you did not like Homelander, this is a happy day for you because he's done. Like, that character is absolutely done. So as you can see right there with Smoke, they gave him a new change to where he can use the vapor move in the air. Now, that's a cool change. It's cool, but I don't think it's going to do much because that's not Smoke's problem. You know, again, overall, in the grand scheme of things, I think they have been doing a great job overall, but, you know, Smoke, that wasn't the right direction. I mean, it could make him better at some things, but Smoke's problem is he doesn't have a way to condition you. You know, like I said, just watch what I said about Smoke in my tier list video if you haven't seen it, because that perfectly describes Smoke and what's really wrong with him. But yeah, I don't think that's a really good change for Smoke, honestly. Now, the Sub-Zero change.
A lot of words there.
Basically, big
As you do, you can also perform the old spear follow-ups by holding 3 as you do the slide. Lot of words there.
Basically, big combo opportunities.
Yeah, and let's take a look at those.
All right, and before I get to talking about this, I want to rate the Homelander change. The Homelander change is a 1 out of 10. That change was absolutely terrible because it genuinely just killed the character, and I'm never a fan of killing the character. And the Smoke change, I'll give the Smoke change a 4. It's cool. It's going to definitely allow for some new stuff, but it still doesn't fix Smoke's core issues. And unless that completely changes his archetype, which I don't know if it will, Smoke is still going to be one of the worst characters in the game. Now, let's talk about Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero, they basically made it to where the property of his meter burn clone is different and he can get combos from it.
And there we are, some new
and
frozen toys
again,
to play with.
Right, and now they
I really feel like
Okay, that's through.
Sub-Zero needed something different than that, but we're just seeing it off the surface level. We never know what the actual changes are going to do in the match until we have our hands on the change ourselves. And again, while this might not look like a good change, you know, this change could have some nuance to it. You know, those clones could not scale. He could do some ridiculous damage off of them. We don't know. So off the Sub-Zero change, I would give it like a 6.
Sub-Zero to play with.
Right, and now they can chill out.
Okay, that's through. You're through for.
But we're going to have to see the changes more for ourselves. But either way, I feel like, again, they're taking a step in the right direction. While they always do it at their own pace, because that's one thing I learned about NRS when it comes to things. They're going to do things at their own pace, and they're not going to care what the community says or thinks. They do stuff at their own pace. I think that those changes were overall just okay, but still it's good that we're getting multiple different buffs in different characters overall. So I really feel like, again, they're taking a step in the right direction. Really good changes. The replay system, amazing. To go over it again, you know, I think the Garrus change is decent. I think the Sub-Zero change is potentially really good if we, you know, see some different damage scaling or something like that. The Smoke change, I think it in the middle of decent and potentially very good. If it changes his archetype, it's going to be great. But if his archetype is still going to be the same, but he just still has that one move, I don't think it's enough. The Homelander change was absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And the Ashrah change was absolutely great. So that's just what I think about everything so far. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think about the New Balance changes in the comment section below. And Nickopz out.